Singing in place where you've never been. In condemnation and billows of woe, will soon but the waters flow. Roll out the lifeline, roll out the lifeline. Someone is drifting away. Roll out the lifeline, roll out the lifeline. Someone is sinking today. Soon will the season unrest in the yard. Soon will they crimson the Jordan's shore. Haste them, my brother, and glory them. Then roll out the lifeline and save them today. Roll out the lifeline, roll out the lifeline. Someone is drifting away. Roll out the lifeline, roll out the lifeline. Someone is sinking today. I got this out of the book that we used to sing out of. Jesus Christ. Word strong. I didn't believe we used to do. I talked to Randy Seeley, and I'm talking to Matt tomorrow, and they won't agree with the new paper the next fall. You read? Right across the other side of your sheet, I guess they should say, heaven holds all the Holds no treasure but very strength to see. However precious may be, yet there's a country to which I am going. Heaven holds all to me. Heaven holds all to me. Brighter than story will be. Joy without measure will be my treasure. Heaven holds all to me. On the hills of that wonderful country, landing contented and free. Loved ones are waiting and watching my coming. Heaven holds all to me. Heaven holds all to me. Brighter and stormy will be. Joy without measure will be my treasure. Heaven holds all to me. Why should I long for the world and its sorrows, waiting back for the sea? Millions are singing a wonderful story. Heaven holds all to me. Heaven holds all to me. Brighter as stormy will be. Joy without measure will be my treasure. Heaven holds all to me. I have some questions here, and they're taken from King James because they use the word about. The Minnesota Hebrew, and that we were saying right there. And so probably NIV probably wouldn't have this word, but anyway, you'll recognize the questions right there. Number one, the persecution arose about this young man. after these. Stephen. About how many souls were added to the church on the day of Pentecost? About how many men did Jesus feed at one time? About whose neck did Jesus say a millstone should be hanged?
Whoever fell in the little one is stumbled.
Yeah, fellow in the stumble, which one? Now I think I just do it like wrong. About the ninth hour, what did Jesus cry from the cross?
I thirst. I thirst.
It's something that was said, not interpreted. Being closer. Yeah, my God,
When is God?
who wore a leather girdle about his loins? About how long did Mary remain with her cousin Elizabeth? These are all have the word about in King James. Notice. About how old was Jairus' daughter? Oh. About how far did Jesus withdraw from the disciples in Gethsemane? Stone's throw. About what hour was there great darkness over all the earth? This man in Bethany had a napkin about his face. There shined about this man a great light. He was accused by his enemies of having gone about to profane the temple. This man said that he was always buried about in his body the body of the Lord Jesus. You can use one answer more than once. Okay. Paul tells Christians to have their loins girded about with this thing. True. So these walls were compassed about for 7 days. Very good. All right, good. Wonderful story that we have studied from the scripture, and the story that we act out in communion every time we observe it. 297. I love to tell my story about secrets of Jesus and His glory, of Jesus and His love. I love to tell the story because I know it's true. It satisfies my longings as nothing else can do. I love to tell the story, tell me my dream and glory, to tell me all the story of Jesus and His love. I love to tell the story, His story of Jesus and his love. Let's stand and sing the last verse. I want to tell my story for those who know it best. Sing hungry and thirsty to be with my forest. And when the streets of glory I sing a new song, will be the old story that I once won. And on the dead story will be my redeemed glory, the old story. Jesus said his love. Lord, it is an old story, at least to us, because of so many years since, and yet to you, it happened shortly ago. You sent your Son, and Lord, through these ages of man, we have followed what you told us to observe these emblems in remembrance of your Son. We are mindful, Lord, of those who have gone before us, who have thought about you, have lived for you, and men who have died for you, because of what is represented here, the body of our Savior. And so, Lord, may we understand the importance of this tonight. May we appreciate what has been done because of who he is and what he came to do so far from heaven to earth. We thank you again, Lord, for loving us so much, and we pray it in Jesus' name. Amen. The rally starts Tuesday night. Amos family singing the first night, and David's the middle night, and Mary the one, I think Tom, Wilson, goes like that, we sing on Thursday night, so that'll be good as well. And Keith Cadwallader preaching on the first two nights, and while doing the other nights and the mornings, and Brother Word by video. Brother Word preached more times than any other person on the Central Rally. I never heard him preach, never heard that. Well, I guess you think we heard it, but a lot of people haven't on it. And it is a rally sermon. Brother Wood did not like to be videotaped. Didn't mind being recorded, I just didn't want to be videotaped. So this was secretly done and smuggled and not over all else. So he probably never knew it even happened. They got this one, and they got one of the Father's Day message in Portland, and our little dog, that was about it. All those years of having actual video of the Lord. So kind of a special thing, I guess. We tried this some years ago, played video, and then we had this little projector and all of that, and shut the windows and all of that, trying to turn off the lights, and Big Sister Calvin passed out on us. The bike was really got hot when it was like 9-something degrees. That was kind of bad. You couldn't hear every bit because of, but now we've got a new sound system, and big windows open and everything like that. It shouldn't be very visible, so it should be managed ahead. So we're looking forward to that kind of stuff. And of course, our meals. So what we're trying to do, it's really great that we can support those in our area, and let others know that we care, and they care, and they come, and our rest of them. Genesis 18, where we started. And I think one more thing to note, we got to see Trudy and her husband today. They're going home Thursday, and Trudy said, "I'm scared. You can't put any weight on this leg, and that leg isn't very good either, but they're going to send her home with help, I guess." And you run out of your hospitalization. It happened July 2nd, so this is the 3rd of August, so it's a month and a day, so I presume it's when we can do something else. And So they told me I'll be able to do work anymore, I'll be on my legs. She's very triggered by everything she told me she cried about, so it was kind of sad. But you hold in the long run, and right into spiritually, something. But Thomas Jordan. So, Reverend Jordan, he has this Nathan chapter of Genesis. Abraham was sitting there kind of resting from the day perhaps. You know, he was an old man, way into his 90s. He saw four visitors coming by, and so he asked them to come in. There's no other place for much to go. There wasn't any hotel rooms, and it was a sort of desert area, a big hospitable land. That's just the way it was. You took strangers in when they came by. Early America, people ride horse across America, they stopped at some farm and asked, first of all, if they could feed their horse, which is number one thing, and then maybe could they sleep in the barn. We'll just say, oh, come on in the house and feed you. And very seldom take any money for it. But, you know, without television or anything like that, our visitor was kind of an interesting person. You hear things from other places, and he might tell you stuff, and weren't too worried about things that you'd be massacred or something like that. So Abraham invited them in, not knowing that one of them was God in the flesh. I also think that that was Jesus, actually, who came to earth, but be that his name, rather than the Father. But anyway, it was God called Jehovah. That could be called Jehovah in Genesis 19. But anyway, he didn't know who these were. He invited them in, told them to kill the fattened calf, so to speak, and fix dinner. We're talking about days gone by when they kill a red rooster and have fried chicken or an old hen or whatever. And they have a block out back while people didn't whack the head off. Some people just screw it off. They just, you know, step on it and pull it off. People had different ways of killing chickens back in that day. But can you imagine going home on Sunday and cutting down a chicken or two and killing it and getting feathers off and picking up the pin feathers and all that and getting it all cut up and boiled and fried and all that and finally had dinner. It wasn't just 15 minutes, it was a while. And I suppose that this was a while, but again, different era. And they were just kind of settling in and talking. And so one got to talk to Abraham, who was the Lord. He didn't quite recognize it at this point. He said, a year from now, you're going to have a son. He was 99 years old. Sarah was listening in her tent, and she laughed. Not heard out loud. I don't think anybody even heard. She kind of laughed in her heart and said, that's a good one. I'm 89. He's 99. I don't think we'll have any children. But it didn't happen because God said so. Then, Lord said, do you think we ought to tell him that we're here? The answer was, by an angel, I think we should. And so he said, we're here because I've heard about how awful Sodom is. And Sodom practiced the sin that people are trying to cover up today, by the way. And God listened to it long enough, and cried long enough, and I'm going down and check it out. And if it's as bad as I say, and if I've heard it, I don't know about that. Well, Abraham heard that. And he had a question. Verse 23, he drew near to God. I don't know if you've ever seen people back in the Middle East talk, but they get right close to each other. Almost nose to nose when they're really interested in talking to one another. He thought he guarded too, so that doesn't happen. Nose to nose, and they're talking to each other. If you go to Palestine, you'll see that, especially they're arguing over like buying something. I mean, they're just, usually people kind of laid back in America. These were right to each other, and that's just the way it is, that's their culture. And so Abraham drew near to God, got right up in his face. He's interested, he's got a real important question. Will thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked? Every once in a while they call into the John Michelson program, and the guy who was on the program will say, well, that's a good question. This is a good question. Will God indeed destroy the righteous with the wicked? Will God get so angry with everything that's going all away? Like you look at an apple, it's got a wormhole in it, you pull the whole thing away rather than say the apple, not for that many more apples, but God, if that apple were the world, he would save the good part, is what we learned from it. So, here are some things I think we need to think about. How we be encouraged, how we should live, what God thinks. So we think there's not very many Christians, and there's not as many as we wish there were. We think we don't have any influence. We see we're just getting worse than it was before. And so then once you get discouraged. But here are some things we want to keep in mind. First of all, as we look at this situation, the righteous and wicked are mingled in this world. Molten, I guess, when I think about this standpoint, is a different place in this way, and that is that I can think of Molten where you've got a good area and then you got a bad area, like slums. Now there's some places you go to certain towns and all the nice houses. I'm looking at the Des Moines Register. You know, you buy houses that are part of 400,000 and more and more. Yeah, right? And then there's Clive. How about this nice area that's on a dead end kind of a cul-de-sac, you know, where it's nice, every house is nice, and there's maybe laws that you can't even park your motorhome in there because it would deteriorate from the community. And there's some areas in like Des Moines, where you talk about it's a nice town, but that is an upgraded area. When people have rummage sales, they'll say, oh, that's over in something, that's a place to go, because they don't have good rummage. And we go over there, and they don't do that kind of thing. Molten, I think, is kind of different. You can have a good house, a bad house, and a good house, a bad house, and they go, those bad houses sure detract from the good house over here, and I guess they do. Maybe we don't have an extra good section in Molten, but when it comes to righteousness, the righteous and wicked all live together. Now there's a point of what I'm saying here. And that is that, first of all, it's a problem with temptation. That since we're living among wicked people, what can happen to us? We can be wicked. You remember that Lot moved to Sodom. And a little bit he called them brothers. Now Peter says he was vexed by their conversation. He didn't like the way they were living. And he was not a homosexual himself. But, you know, he seemed to kind of, well, it grieved him, but it was there. Why would you want to live there? And call them brothers. And then finally have their men date their girls and get engaged to them and maybe married to them. That's kind of the outcome of all of that. Because if you live with the wicked, you'll not be tempted. On the other hand, it's a good thing. Because Jesus said there's a light which you want. A single candle set on a candlestick. What's it do? Gives light to the whole house. If you had total darkness and you took a birthday candle and lit it, you'd be amazed, wouldn't you? Maybe you've done that before. Our little birthday candle has a great power to light up more than you would think. And of course, a bigger candle and one bulb and so on will do the same thing. But there's two sides to it. The wicked and the righteous do. Noah lived in the world, but so did the wicked people, didn't they? Noah built his ark and they were rejecting it, so they lived in the same world. Israel had 12 spies. 10 of them were not good, 2 of them were good. They were in the same place, traveled to the same house, had the same experiences. 2 were good, the rest were not. The Bible says that the church is like a net. And what I read about, that some of these big nets they have in the Sea of Galilee, took 2 boats. And over here hold one, over here hold another, and then go through and gather all the fish. What do you have to do when you get to the shore? Well, you got to separate the fish. Because there's good and bad fish in the net. So even in a church, a physical church. Now, I was listening to a sermon by Andrew Spadden, and I'm going to try to play an excerpt or 2 during the rally. And he said there's no hypocrites in the church because the Lord keeps better records than that. And that's kind of an interesting comment. But really, the true church, the one that's kept in heaven, has no hypocrites, right? I mean, Lord knows everyone. Because the Bible says, Lord knows those that are His. But I'm talking here about what we see in church. Well, where did that person? He's like, he goes to church. Yeah, he knows bad fish. But we'll have that. Do we want bad fish? We want all kinds of fish to come to church? Well, of course. We say, now you're not living so good, so you get better come to. No, don't do that. Bad fish turn into good fish. I talked to a guy the other day, and he said, you won't believe this, but the worst hell I knew is become a Christian just a little bit before that. Well, I do believe that. The Lord works that way. And some of the nicer people that you will never make a decision, and that's sad too. But we have all kinds. Lydia lived in a town. What a great person she was. And she obeyed the Lord. But there was a demoniac girl in town too. Lived in the same town. One was the Lord and one was with the devil. Same town. It happened. Nicodemus was was on the corner. But so was Caiaphas. Nicodemus said, no, don't kill Jesus. Caiaphas said, kill him. He's got to. Same corner. They're doing the same thing. Have the same thing going. Some of the apostles lived in Capernaum. Peter eventually lived in Capernaum. What was said about Capernaum? Oh, you are so bad, I'm going to knock you down. You're just going to be ground level forever. You'll never be rebuilt. And the pastor didn't visit there, walk around, see all the stuff laying there. And Peter's house too was level, but he lived there. One of the great people of all time. But there were all the other wicked people that lived there as well. Mary and Joseph, what good people they were. But look at Herod, he lived in the same country, and how wicked he was. And to cap it all off, I guess I'm saying what John 17 said, Jesus said, I do not pray that you would believe the word. That would be the thought of a lot of people. And I think I mentioned before that monastery that you have in Nick and George's Pizza Hut. Right up there on that woman's collar line. That's a fascinating picture. I'd like to have that picture, but that's not the right picture for Christians, is it? We don't climb up or someone get up in this monastery away from everybody and have no influence and don't talk to anybody, don't share the gospel because we want to be pure. No, we're risking something. Jesus risked something. To put a church in the world, it risks something. Sometimes the world will pull some people away. Sometimes the world will influence on us and we will do the wrong thing. That will happen, but the Lord is saying, I'm taking a risk. I want righteous and wicked people to live together so that the righteous can influence the wicked. Or somebody will say, I don't think we ought to have children because the world is so wicked. We ought not have children. And I think opposite. The world is very with each other. We need young people to grow up. And I told people this about our last camp, but it's true about all camps actually, that even more so than one in Polstad, because we had such a high amount of teenagers. I mean, predominantly teenagers, probably 35 or so of those were 16 and older. We had several, how many went to college, Michelle? About 8 or 10 of them. Either had been in college, some had graduated, still going to camp. Well, that's what we need. We need those kind of kids. They have an influence, and we want them to be around. And so God is saying, yes, here's Abraham. He lives right next to Sodom. He's not going to act like Sodom, but if there are righteous people, even if there's righteous people in that city, can there be? Could it possibly be that there be righteous people in Sodom? And the answer must be, yeah, that can be. And there's never reason, well, the world is so wicked, and people are so mean and evil, and it's just so hard, I'm just going to give up. I'll never accept that excuse. And so Abraham began to beg, as you were told, right in God's face. 50. Say for 50. 45. 40. Now you think, what about 10? And so God wanted the influence of the righteous people as he does us. Here you got neighbors about it. They don't live right. They don't go to church. They have fights, whatever it is. Now, why are you living there? Not just to call 911 and get in trouble, but you are there to be an influence. To be a Christian witness to those people. That's why you're there. God expects us to live among the wicked. Here's the second thing. God knows us the righteous. Does God know who the righteous are? You know, he knows that too. That's second thing. If there are 50, well, God said, okay, I can find 50. Now, will God be able to find both? You're one, and you're not, you're God ain't going to leave them. In fact, he knew how many there were already, so he was not, too impressed with all that, but he knew who Lot was. Where did they go? Where did they go to find somebody to talk with? What was Lot? Did they go down to the lodge? Did they go down to the store? Did they go down to the hang out to the bar and say, hey, anybody here follow the Lord and is righteous? No. Now they knew one. Because Peter called him righteous Lot. So they ended up in his house. Well, that was not an accident. What do I do then? He said, now here's the thing. You go and call everybody else that you know that might be righteous, like your daughters or sons-in-laws, anybody else wants to do right, you don't talk to them because there's going to be destruction. And if you finally gather 10 folks in the whole house, people say, you made it. You have 10 folks. Sodom was saved. Now, you people didn't tell them about their salvation, but they weren't 10. And it sounded like at the end there were maybe 4. And one looked back. And the other 2 didn't do so good. And even Lot himself got drunk. And so, I mean, the whole thing kind of was not a very good situation at all. But God knew the righteous. That's encouraging to me. When you try to do right, God knows it. He knows what you're doing. He knows your life. And it's not for nothing. Every righteous act he notices, and he's approving of it, and God knows us, and it's been written in a book that's really important to us and to him. When Elijah said, I'm the only one left, and he thought he was. And I disobey because if I'm the only one left, I don't want to be the only one. Well, God says, you're not the only one. You realize, maybe you know, that there are 7,000 that have not bowed the knee to Baal yet. Well, how did God know? Well, he knows. He knows what you think, he knows what you do, he knows you're trying to be righteous, he knows you're trying to fight off sin, and he gives you credit for all that. That's interesting that God knows the righteous. The book of Exodus chapter 1, I always thought this was an interesting account that people who didn't really, know God or have much of an understanding about God still took the right course and had to do a lot with babies. If you remember, the king of Egypt, chapter 1 of Exodus, verse 15, spoke to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of one was Shiphrah and the other was Puah. And he said, now when you do the office of the midwives for Hebrew women and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then you shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. Sounds a little bit like abortion, doesn't it? On the abortion, they kill both of them. Girls don't get to live through an abortion. Because you have to kill them. Well, why can you kill them? Because the government says so. But the midwives, fear God, and did not, as the king of Egypt commanded them, but save the men, children alive. Good for them. Now, they're risking a lot, but this is righteous. This is the right thing to do. How could you kill a little baby? What kind of a monster must you be to take a baby and just crush it somewhere? He said, we can't kill that little baby. I know he's not Egyptian. We're Egyptians, and they're not, but it's a human. And the king of Egypt called the midwives and said to them, why have you done this thing? And have saved the male children alive. The midwives said, well, because Hebrew women are not like Egyptian women. They're alive to live, every midwives coming in unto them. Don't look at the king and say, why don't you kill it later? We have people that are pressing that there should be a time frame if you just don't want that child to let it die, even though it's born perfectly and is alive. Well, so that's what it is. And he apparently said, okay. He had more heart than most people today. And he said, okay, if when you get there, the baby is already delivered and everything like that, why, I guess we ought not to kill it. And when it was being delivered, that's when he killed it. Late-term abortion, did you say that would be pretty late? That's what they talk about today. Till it's born, till it's fully born, you can do whatever. At least he had some heart to him. Now, that was the right thing to do that they did. And so God dealt well with the midwives. And the people multiplied and waxed very mighty. It came to pass because the midwives feared God and he made them houses. I cannot basically made them families. God says, good for you. I don't know if they had a husband before that. If they did, they got one. If they couldn't have children before this, they had them. God will bless them. I know they're righteous. And he blessed them with a lot of that. If they were charging people, well, if they won't do it, then you just cast your own children in the river. I guess some probably did, because the king said so. The government must be obeying moral punishment for some people. And on the other hand, we know some that didn't, like Moses' parents. He didn't do that at all. Now, God bless them. Isn't that interesting that that happened? In the book of Malachi, chapter 3, God says there are people that sit and think about God. And I have written their names down in the book, Malachi 3:60-18. And when I get all this thing settled, you'll know the difference between righteous and unrighteous. And they will be my jewels. Now, there was a song that was sung by kids years and years ago. When he comes to make up his jewels, all the jewels, precious jewels, his love and his own. And go on and say the children are the jewels. Well, they are. Who would argue that the child is not a jewel? I mean, no, they are. But God is talking about kids in Malachi 3. He's talking about adults. Who don't go along with whatever was in Malachi. Malachi talks about worship that didn't mean anything. Well, we'll just go through the motion. Or just give God the worship of God. Or, why give God the best? Because he'll just kill it anyway. And if I have to serve God, what do I get? How much do I get paid for that? And the whole thing was just hypocritical, and they go on holidays and God's day, and say, I hope it gets over with, and, kind of like, when we get out of the church, we're going to do our thing. I was telling you that he thought that's what church was about, and growing up, and during the hours you go out and have a beer. Kind of, get it over with, and you're done with it. Well, that's what they were doing. God said, well, treat your governor like that. Don't give him any honor. Give him the sick cow that you're giving to me. See how he likes that. He wouldn't ever do that. So God said, just a lot of people are just putting me in the second place, and I'm not liking it, and I just wish you wouldn't do all these things, because I can't stand it. But he said, there's a group that still love my message. There's a group that still love me. There's a group that still want to serve. There's a group that still do it right. When it's all said and done, you'll notice that there is a difference. Many times in the Bible, you'll have the expression, a remnant. A remnant is going to be saved. And God has a remnant. Isaiah 1:9 says, if we didn't have a remnant, we would be like Sodom. So God loved Israel. And he always saw some righteous people. It just seemed like God never had a group of Jews who were mostly righteous. They were usually not so good, but always a good one in the group. A man God would call for a prophet. And John the Baptist who stood up in wickedness. He would help Jesus out. I mean, he didn't have a great, here came Nicodemus and Joel saying, well, we'll donate our high money and bring to him. Always like somebody, but not many. But God will listen and honor them. Yeah. Now, that's not just saying. There might not be many. There might not be a lot of people who are standing to be righteous and do the right thing, but God will notice us and appreciate that. Number 3, the righteous are important. We learned that from this question. We destroy the righteous with the wicked? No. I would never do that. What would it take to save the whole city? Said Abraham. Remember, he's talking to God, those to know almost. 50. And on down to that. Well, all of those numbers represent one thing, and that is that the righteous have a very important place to play in any nation or any group of people. How much would 50 be if you got to get the 50 of the whole city? Well, probably not very many. There are probably several thousand who live there, as far as we would know. How many is 50 when it comes to Atonement? How many is 50 when it comes to Centerville? How many is 50 compared to Bolton, maybe? It gets significantly higher with a smaller population, but even that 50 is not a biggie unless you're a very, very small town. 50 in New Orleans now would be a great one, but other cities, no. A great city, 50 will save it. And throughout the Bible, you notice that God does talk about the importance of the Christian in the world. We don't ever want to lose that. We talked about that just a little bit ago. That light. You're the light of the world. How important are you? Now, not because of who we are, but because of whose we are and the message that we have. We are really important because we are showing by light and by word the message of Christ. What other thing will save the world? Well, nothing. Now, if they get all those tunnels all filled in or whatever they're going to do in Palestine, and Hamas can't come across and shoot out of the tunnels and whatever, is that going to solve the problem? I don't think so. What will solve the problem? Well, I don't know that the problem will ever be solved. One Palestinian said that he hopes that all the Jews will move to Palestine because then we won't have to go out and fall down and kill them. That's his viewpoint of it. So you can see there's an animosity, and of course the Jews don't like the Palestinians either. Back and forth. How do you solve that? Egypt says, come on down to a peace conference. And I'm not even going. And the Hamas is not going to go either. But we're not interested in that. We will never do that. And if you remember, magazine after magazine after magazine by Jimmy Carter and the Bushes and whoever else, we've got it solved. Here's how we got the Middle East. Kissinger, he thought he had it, didn't he? There's an answer. What is the only answer in the world to solve the world problem? And that is Christ. Colossians has Ephesians 2. That's one thing, that Christ is our peace and has broken down the middle wall of partition between us and God and between people and people. What will bring black and white together in one peaceful group? Or what will bring Palestinians and Israelites together in one group? Well, it'll be the gospel. Where people repent of their evil, say they're going to follow Jesus as the one Savior, and he says, I want to dwell in peace in the church, and if these two people have been baptized into Christ, they're brothers or sisters, and we can't fight them, there has to be peace if we're all Christians. They were getting their answer. So that's how important Christians do. We have one message that will solve the world's problems, and they're not going to be solved. We're going to talk about how wicked it's going to be through the end, so we go apart individually, not going to solve the whole thing. But on the other hand, it is a message that when the person accepts it, it's eternal. It's that important. But God said, I preserved this city through righteous people. I have wondered time and time again, what is the percentage God accepts in America? Or in a town? I don't think we're as low as they were then, but where is that were the prayers of the saints saved a group of people? Moses prayed, one man, God's going to destroy it. I have had it. One man prayed, Moses, and God said, okay, you intercede for these people, and I will preserve them, and I will punish them for what they've done, and I'll not exterminate them. And one man saved the whole nation, actually. His name was Moses. And so he was important. And all had a shipwreck. Why were people on the ship saved? Why did the ship just go down and they never found out what happened? I mean, that happened over and over again in the old world. Ships would go out in the ocean. How did they know where they were? Well, they followed the star, but how did they know where they were? They didn't. There was no kind of telephone, no kind of communication. They couldn't tell. And the ship just went down. That was it. We had something like that happen in the news. Here's an airplane in our sophisticated days, with satellites and everything. Here's a plane that can fly out into this part of the world and drop in, or get hijacked, or whatever it did, and there's no trace. No oil slick, no nothing. Well, how did that happen? I have no idea. It's hard to imagine that. And they looked and looked and looked and looked and didn't seem to find it. If they were all ships back in the old days, that happened to them. Old creaky wooden ships, and get a storm or something happened to it, and get a hole and down they go, and all die. Never be heard of again. Why did this happen this year? Because there was one man on board whose name is the Apostle Paul. And God wanted him to get to Rome. And he wanted to prove to these people that that man was important, the message was important. And so he said, Paul, because of me, we're all going to be saved. I often wonder, 276 people, did any of them become Christians? Did they say, this man is important? No, they had to sit there on this island, or this place where they were, for a winter time. Did he get to teach them? Did he baptize them? Yeah, don't mention. He healed some folks. He baptized people that he healed. How he did all of that. But some people should have recognized the fact that this man, because he represented God, was that important. And we want to realize that too. Don't give up because we're few. We're more important than ever. God needs us more, the world needs us more than ever. If we're a few, don't give up because we're important. And 2 Kings 3, verse 14 is an interesting account, I think, and that is that the king of Israel, the Roman king, was wicked, was going to have a war. And he called the king from the south to help him. And they wanted to get a message from God, and so they called the prophet. And he said something like this, if it weren't for this king of Judah, I wouldn't even come. Wouldn't pay me any time. Said, but because of him, there'll be a war, and there'll be a battle, and we'll win. And he wanted the king of the north, who God and my daughter, to realize that because of the Judah king, who was still following God, God would honor the message. Well, that's 3, about 2 to go maybe. Because number 4, I wrote down, cross it out, we'll put it back in, you figure out what you think. Is this even in the story? That is, that the righteous care about the wicked. No, but I guess I'll think about it. Why was Abraham asking this question? Well, I guess he's concerned about the righteous, would he be? Is he concerned about the wicked? I don't know. Would he be glad if you said, yeah, there's 50, and they're all saved? Would he say, well, that's good. Would we wish well for the wicked? Would we be glad that they were preserved another day to do better? I guess Abraham would have been. I don't know. Maybe cross that out and say, no, I don't think so. But whatever you think of that thought. Abraham was concerned about the righteous, because I've gone back 45, 40, 30, on down the line. But it would seem to me that maybe he did have a concern. I'd like to see those people have an opportunity. No one like Jonah, who didn't want to have an opportunity. I don't know. That's not the greater story, so it's one of the problems.
At least Lot was vexed every day.
Yeah, he was. But he had a feeling about wanting them to do better. I hope we do too. That we're not just concerned, well, we're all saved. And, you know, there have been maybe a thought in some people's mind years ago, that as long as we have our group, we're doing fine, we don't care about anybody else. Not to insist about it. In fact, I've known some about this, if we have the wicked come, they're going to spoil our church. Well, what do people come and they drink beer? They smoke cigarettes, cuts, look different, have been modest. We don't want that in our church, do we? But I know people have that kind of a thought. Well, what is the church for? Well, it's to bless the Christian, but it's to reach out to those who are not. And I would think we would be glad. The Bible talks about sinners who heard Jesus. Did he say, well, no, stay away from you. You don't look good, smell good, act good. I don't talk to these Pharisees over here. I mean, they don't do any bad stuff. But it seemed like with Jesus and John the Baptist, several people were prostitutes, tax collectors, wicked people of different sorts. Now, he seemed to have an idea that that was a good thing. He didn't go along with them. He'd say, well, live the way you are, and every time you preach to these and John the Baptist, he'd say, here's the changes you need to make. But they made changes, didn't they? And I think they made changes because they saw in Jesus somebody who really cared about them. Now, you know, you can tell people the same thing in different ways. You're so wicked, you're so evil, and you're going to kick to hell. And oh, makes them mad. They don't even know why you said that, and it turns them off. On the other hand, you can reach out and try to pick them up and help them. They don't understand. Alan Marshall, when he was trying to find Christ, he'd go home from singing in the bar and drink and read the Bible. Well, that doesn't seem like that all goes together. But he was doing what he knew as an Englishman to do, which would be to drink and read the Bible. He wanted to find something. Pretty soon, as he read through it, thought it all through, he figured out how he should be living and how he shouldn't be living. That's what we want to reach out about with people. Yes, we want to love them and be concerned about them, and I think that's important. And number 4 or 5, whichever we did, let me do that on the topic, kept it. The last one is the wicked will be punished. They will be punished. Now, there's no two ways about it. The evil will be punished, and God's going to punish them. He'll save the righteous from it, but the wicked will be punished. In the 19th chapter, you haven't read that for a while. I want you to focus here on what God will do. And some people don't think God will punish at all. I think God's just love. Anything else is different from that, but God will punish. And that is a severe thing to know from Scripture. So the 19th chapter, verse 23, the sun was risen upon the earth, light in the Zoar. That's a little town. You say, can I go to this little town? I know you're going to destroy Centerville and Des Moines and Ottumwa, but Moulton, can I go live in Moulton? He said, go live in Moulton. And so he did. So on. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. I'm showing that verses a little bit together. It helps you to know more about the Trinity. You see the word Lord twice in that. You see the capital letters. That's the word Jehovah in the original. And so there was a Jehovah on the earth who rained fire from the Jehovah that was in heaven. Who's on the earth? Jesus. Who's on the, well, we know Jesus. Who's in heaven? The Father. We have two that are called Jehovah. Well, why is that? Because Jehovah means self-existing one. But Jesus created? No. He was always. What about God? He created? No. He was always. So we have two beings, also in the Spirit, by the way, who were forever. Fire and brimstone. That's almost a joke, isn't it? Back in earth, talk about fire and brimstone, everyone talk about fire and brimstone. Fire and brimstone preacher, kind of a mockery, kind of like. I just want you to know that fire and brimstone was reality. Here in Genesis, God does punish, and He will punish. And he overthrew those cities, and all the plain, and all the inhabitants of the cities, and that which grew upon the ground. I mean, he didn't just, bomb cities, or like Israel just throw a few rockets into something. He demolished 5 cities. He demolished everything on the plain. He demolished all the plants that lived on the plain. And we think, and we're pretty sure now by what we discovered, that Sodom was at the bottom of what we know as the lower part of the Dead Sea. If you go to the Dead Sea area, it's about as barren as carpet. I mean, there's nothing grows there. It once was called earlier the Garden of God, like Eden was. God was so upset, he wiped out those cities and everything that grew, and it's just become a trackless desert, basically. This is the area where Jesus went with his temptation, away from everything and everybody. I'll get to the Dead Sea. Does God punish sin? Sure he does. But the wife of Lot, look back over behind him now, there when she was my mom. She was the president, I did not look back when she was. I'm just going to have our backs and move over. She looked back. She began to feel her assault. God punished. And Abraham got up early in the morning to the place where he stood before the Lord. He looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah, and toward all the land of the plain, behold, like the smoke heaven went up like the smoke of a furnace. It came to pass, and God destroyed the cities of the plain. God remembered Abraham, and sent Lot on the midst of the overthrow, and he overthrew the cities, and he has Lot dwelt. God destroyed the righteous? No. And was Lot righteous? We would say, and Peter says he was, so his will Peter. God saved him, would have saved the rest of them. One looked back, she wasn't saved. God did destroy him. You destroy the wicked? Yes. You destroy the righteous with the wicked? No. And that was the question that Abraham asked, and was answered. And I think it's important we would think along those lines. How important you would be. How important righteousness is. God knows who to sue. And God will not stop punishment when he has said he will do it. And he's spoken about that in the scripture. It's not popular, it's not something a lot of people like to hear about anymore, but it's still in the scripture. You can talk about a place that is so horrible. It's made for the devil. His angels. Father, we do thank you tonight. We come together and appreciate Abraham and that heart of compassion. Even though he was saved himself, he was still consumed by others. And Lord, we see your compassion because you will spare even wicked people, for the righteous people, from certain things. Lord, may we do those few. Lord, realize that it's not because of us, but because of you. And Lord, we realize that when we said about when you will be true, you will do what you say. And Lord, it's so horrible and unbelievable. When guide us this year to do the people and help us all. They understand the truth, goodness, and evil. In Jesus' name.